You know, I've always wondered what's on the front of these boxes. I've been told it's some kind of hedgehog, but I refuse to turn around to see who it is. Oh, turn it around!
Sonic the Hedgehog. One of the most popular video game icons ever. I'm sure you know what he's gone through, but there's an often forgotten side to his franchise. Degeneracy. Ah yes, Sonic on the Nintendo DS and 3DS goes about as well as Sonic on the Nintendo DS and 3DS goes. For the most part, Sonic DS games are pretty fucking good. Some of them play like the fucking plague, however, so it's safe to say not every game was created equally. These are all the games I have currently, and my, do every one of these games look pretty tasty to eat. Do you ever realize how out of place a bad game can look when it's that bad? Yeah, I own nearly all of Sonic's games on the DS and 3DS. And then I have Sonic Advance on the GBA, but that's for another day.
So I think it's time I give up on my trauma and look at all these games. First is Sonic Rush.
Sonic Rush was the first Sonic game to release on the DS, and instead of it being a Sonic Team project, the company Dims came in and helped. And it's very obvious. Momentum can be a bit fucky along with level design later in the game. Bosses are pretty okay if I'm being honest. I'm not offended by them at all, I'm just not raring to play them. All in all, I'd say Sonic Rush was a good introduction to the DS for Sonic, but there was a lot to be improved. I'm in nostalgic danger. I'm home. Sonic Rush Adventure is Sonic Rush if it was 10 times better. Now, this being one of my favorite games of all time, I play a part in why I love it so much, but maybe this answers it. Yes, this was my first game ever, and my love towards it is completely justified because this is one of the best games I've ever played.
On the other hand...
I hate this. Sonic Lost World on the 3DS is a stupid, dumb, bullshit game that deserves to fucking die. Oh, sorry, I stepped on the censor button. But as we all know, Sonic Lost World on the 3DS is the actual worst game to come into recent memory.
But I like this game!
You're a fucking disgrace. This game is just not fun at all. The controls feel weird, the stages are so boring, and so fucking long! How do people enjoy this? How?
But then we get to Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. Oh yeah, I forgot I lost the game card.
I remember this game being pretty fun and having a nice flow with the gameplay. But of course, it was tied to Sonic Boom. So you know what that means.
Yes, hello, I'd like to plan a funeral.
I'm not sure how well Fire and Ice did, but it sadly couldn't save Sonic Boom. If anything, it probably didn't stop Sonic Boom's declining interest. And sadly, Sonic Boom fell into its coffin.
What a depressing way to end off on. Now that we've covered every DS Sonic game... Fuck! Well, I can't say much about these games because I don't have them, but they look bad. Sonic Chronicles Game of the Year.